Hello, this is Matthew, and I welcome you to another episode of Unrewarded Intelligence, the channel that offers you free information about expensive matters. Today, January 29, 2022, another tough week in stock and crypto market. Bitcoin is up from the last week price to $37,265, and $1 is 2,683 sats. After hitting highs of $69,000 in November 2021, the king cryptocurrency fell to 6-month lows of roughly $33,000 in January 2022, and is currently down almost minus 21% year to date. Some market participants believe recent market weakness stems from increased concerns over hawkish monetary policy from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Now let's start with news of the world. On January 25, the House of Representatives introduced the America Competes Act, a bill to improve the U.S. economic competitiveness with China. Pro-crypto lobbyist organization Coin Center pointed out that language in the provision entitled "Prohibitions or Conditions on Certain Transmittal of Funds" would allow the Secretary of the Treasury to ban transactions from foreign crypto exchanges, international crypto miners, and non-custodial wallets. The provision seeks to give FinCEN authorization to freeze or limit transactions from suspicious accounts or jurisdictions that are deemed of primary money laundering concern. Also on Tuesday, executive directors of the International Monetary Fund urged El Salvador to revoke Bitcoin's legal tender status in the country, and stated, "There are large risks associated with the use of Bitcoin on financial stability, financial integrity, and consumer protection, as well as the associated fiscal contingent liabilities." Some directors also raised concerns over the risks associated with the country's upcoming Bitcoin bonds. El Salvador's acceptance of Bitcoin has led the IMF to refrain from providing the country a $1.3 billion loan. This came after Monday, January 24, El Salvador purchased another 410 Bitcoin for $15 million, bringing its total holdings to at least 1,801 Bitcoins, valued at $61.2 million. Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants Bitcoin miners to migrate to the state to incentivize power providers to scale their infrastructure. Texas Blockchain Council President Lee Bratcher said, "It's really a healthy dynamic that brings tax revenue, brings job creation, and also is a grid strengthening mechanism." Abbott posits that as long as miners pause operations when energy demand surges, both miners and the state could benefit. According to the Texas Blockchain Council, 27 mining operations currently exist in the state, and more miners, such as Foundry, will soon establish facilities. As we all know, Meta stablecoin is for sale, and California-banked Silvergate Capital will purchase Project Diem's technology assets for $200 million as the parent company winds operations down. Silvergate initially partnered with Diem to become the formal issuer of the Diem USD stablecoin and manage the reserve backing of the token. Wednesday, the official website of the Russian presidency state that Vladimir Putin take a stand to benefit the crypto world and disagreed with the Central Bank of Russia's plans to ban crypto and instructed government officials to hold discussions on the matter. Putin acknowledged certain risks, first and foremost to citizens of the country, given significant volatility, but told his agencies not to neglect Russia's competitive advantages in crypto mining, including electricity surpluses and well-trained teams. Once again, Bitcoin network power slumps as Kazakhstan, the world's second-largest mining center, halted electricity supply to all crypto miners in the country until January 31 due to a struggling power grid. The country hosts about one-fifth of the world's Bitcoin hash rate, and continual scrutiny from the local government has caused some miners to consider growing their businesses overseas. After US-based Bitcoin futures ETFs across the board began trading at a premium to the NAV last week, the discount to NAV across all US-based Bitcoin futures ETFs returned stronger than before. However, discounts of roughly minus 10% to flip to roughly plus 6% premiums across all ETFs. The SEC rejected asset manager Fidelity's application for a spot Bitcoin ETF because the filing did not provide sufficient evidence on how it would prevent fraud, a criticism that the regulator cited for two other spot Bitcoin ETF rejections. Crypto asset manager Valkyrie applied with the SEC to list an ETF that offers exposure to stocks of Bitcoin mining companies. The ETF will invest at least 80% of its net assets in securities of firms that make a minimum of 50% of their profit from mining. Meanwhile, in the decentralized finance universe, despite a decline in asset prices, the total value locked among the top DeFi protocols remains unshaken. In light of participants rushing to exit their MIM positions in the Curve Stables pool, Curve saw an influx of revenues yesterday, potentially accounting for the steep revenue change. With a lower price-to-sales ratio, Spooky Swap, the leading DEX on the Phantom network, may potentially be undervalued when compared to the other top DeFi protocols, and a decrease in DeFi activity has left many protocols to see a decline in 30 days revenues. Wonderland's market cap plummeted -70% over the past 7 days, partially due to the revelation that a co-founder, named 0xSeafood, is actually Michael Patron, a former co-founder of the failed Canadian crypto exchange, Quadriga CX. The exchange collapsed in 2019 after founder Gerald Cotton disappeared with $169 million in user assets. Terra-based lend and borrow app Anchor Protocol's reserves, composed of stablecoin USD, have declined approximately 50% over the past 4 weeks due to an excess of deposits available for lending. Anchor offers a 20% annual reward incentive to users who deposit USD, a mechanic that is driven from interest charged to borrowers, staking rewards earned from borrowers' collateral, and liquidation fees. MakerDAO passed a heavily debated proposal to offboard its Market 001 content team. The proposal passed with 49.1% of votes, while 47.27% disapproved of the motion. As a result, DAO members are looking at options for how to modify the offboarding and voting processes when a proposal is heavily debated. Given the market's recent dip, Aave and MakerDAO position liquidations are on the rise. Users seeking leverage often collateralize crypto to borrow stablecoins and swap them for more crypto. On January 23, Aave saw 1,692 liquidations, which is the highest amount of liquidations since the market's turbulent dive in May 2021. Solana TVL marked another week down from its previous spot in the top 3 chains by TVL, and Arbitrum and Kronos TVL continues to rise despite a slight dip in total value locked across the larger networks. Like we said last week, Reddit has started testing out a feature that will allow users to add NFTs as their profile picture. The feature is still in its early stages and only being tested internally with no decisions finalized on its rollout. Luxury brand Prada paired up with Adidas to release its first NFT, which will be a crowdsourced collage much like Beeple's famous piece named Every Days, the first 5,000 days. Participants can register and submit a photograph using a specially designed filter, which will then be scrambled up with 40% of the image removed in order to ensure anonymity. A raffle will be carried out to select 3,000 photographs from those submitted, then minted by Adidas as unique NFTs. The selected images are then combined into one mass patchwork NFT by digital artist Zach Lieberman. This collage will be auctioned off on Marketplace Super Rare and displayed as installations in Prada and Adidas flagship stores. Coming from the CEO of the biggest company in the world with a market cap of $2.9 trillion, Apple's Tim Cook has stated during first quarter earnings call that Apple sees potential in the metaverse and will be investing accordingly. Seem like China have some secret big plans as they soft-launched its state-backed NFT platform, Blockchain Services Network. BSN is a nationwide infrastructure which will support Chinese NFTs without relying on cryptocurrencies. BSN will be officially launching in late March. Layer 1 blockchain Avalanche approaching Ethereum in transaction volume as it processed 1.1 million transactions yesterday, equating to approximately 96% of Ethereum's load, according to Ava Labs, the development firm behind the project. In addition, Avalanche has become the 5th largest smart contract platform in total locked value with $8.17 billion. Cardano experiencing congestion with an increase in block size of 12.5%. As a result of dApps going live on the network, Cardano has consistently been experiencing blockchain load of over 90%. For reference, with 100% load, all blocks are full, and with 0% load, all blocks are empty. In response, the project has increased block size by plus 12.5%, which should help slightly but won't be an end-all cure. In the long term, the project has a series of upgrades they plan to implement in 2022 to address scaling and performance issues. Please leave your opinion and insights in the comments below. And if you enjoy this session, please support our channel by clicking like and subscribe, and we will keep you updated with the news. You can find the text version in the description. This is all for today. Use this information wisely, stay sharp and illuminated.